Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching Aussie's Fragrance Talk. My name is Austin, and today we're going to be talking about 10 of my favorite fragrance pickups of the year of 2024. So, the fragrances that you see behind me, I'm going to showcase each and every one of them and just go over high level what the scent profile is, when you would use it, how it makes me feel, and we'll just keep going through each of them like that. I would recommend every one of these to sample if you haven't already. These are fantastic. There's some that are very obvious as far as popularity wise, and there's some that definitely fly under the radar as far as kind of what's mainstream right now. So, without further ado, we'll get into it. So, the first thing I want to clarify with this video is this is not a ranked video where I have these in any particular order. This is just randomly pulled as I've identified that these are my top 10 ones for my collection, and I want to talk about them. So, the one that I'll talk about first is what I happen to be wearing right now, which is MFK Gentle Fluidity Silver. So, this one, if you're not familiar with Gentle Fluidity Silver, it is a very clean, crisp, and refreshing fragrance. This goes really well with basically any attire. It's kind of a chameleon in that way where it can kind of change a little bit where I guess the scent profile doesn't change, but when you could wear it, it's just a beast in that regard of you could wear it from shorts and t-shirt all the way up to a suit if you wanted to, depending on the occasion. So I think this one is just a very classic gentleman fragrance that it comes across really professional, classy, and like it's intentional, but it's definitely got signature scent worthiness here. So the prominent notes here, if I remember right, were the juniper berry, which kind of gives that dry gin-like feel to this, and coriander, which is a what would you even call it? It's like a seed, basically. I think, where it's kind of got a in the weirdest way possible. What I could describe it as is if you bite into a coriander seed, it kind of tastes like Fruit Loops in a way. I know that sounds really weird. Try it. Come back to this. Let me know if you agree. But for whatever reason, it works, right? So it's a musk, dry, crisp, sort of gin like feel, and a little bit of not having sweetness, but just enough to not make it be very unappealing. I love this stuff. I would highly recommend it if you haven't tried it already. All right, so the next one that I grabbed is none other than Amouage Reflection Man. And I feel like I have no shortage of nice things to say about this fragrance. As you can see by the dent in it, I love this stuff. And this is probably about as close to a signature scent as I have in my current state of my collection. It's kind of in the same way that MFK Gentle Fluidity Silver is a crisp, fresh, sort of gentlemanly, professional fragrance. This you could characterize in the same way, but it is quite different. Where this one is, and I'm going to spray it because I do love it. This one is a prominent white floral. It's got jasmine, it's got iris, it's got a whole bunch of other notes in here that I don't want to look at. It's just high level. It comes across so nice. The sillage on this stuff is amazing. That is what like the high point of it is for me. This stuff doesn't project like crazy in my experience. This is, reformulated batch. I don't know if it used to be crazy performance back in 2007 or whatever when it launched, but my bottle, the projection is nice. It's nothing crazy, but it's what you would want if you were wearing this to a professional setting, where it has nice presence in the air as you move around. The sillage is very nice. You have a nice scent bubble around you of projection, but it isn't unappealing, it isn't cloying, and it isn't going to be off-putting to people. So I love this stuff. I have so many good things to say about it. I am a huge advocate for trying this if you haven't already. Keep an open mind. I know it's prominent white florals, but it is not girly in any way. This stuff is manly, it's masculine, powdery, nice, fresh, kind of fresh, spicy. Amazing. Try it, please. All right, just grab the next one. I guess to piggyback off of Amouage Reflection Man, I have Acqua di Parma Colonia Pura. So sorry that is not focusing. Anyway, you get the point. This one is another fresh, fresh, spicy, clean, white floral with jasmine in here again. And I believe it's petitgrain, which gives it a nice green feel to it to kind of balance out that white floral. And then some nice woody backbone to it. This one, it is completely different from Reflection Man, but has a similar structure, I'll say, where again, it's clean, fresh, kind of spicy. It's got some nice florals in there and a nice like cedarwood, sandalwood sort of thing. It's very nice, and you can get this bottle very cheap. These Aqua de Parmas at discounters are a bargain in my opinion. I believe I got this one for like $50 for a 100 ml tester, which the testers come with a cap. Just try this one, please. As you can see, like I haven't even had this one all that long, and I've mainly used this kind of as a refresher out of the shower just to wear something when I'm home. This is an eau de cologne, so please don't. Yeah, let me check that actually. Okay, it is an eau de cologne, so what I was going to say is don't expect this to last all day. It won't. It will last you 4, 5, 6 hours, yes. But don't go out with your intention of wearing this as your scent of the day and hoping that it's going to carry you through a 10-hour workday. It won't. You might detect it on your skin, but it is going to have no presence in the air. So if you are going to use this, spray it heavy, spray it often. It isn't cloying, it doesn't fill a room. It just smells very clean, very fresh, very appealing. Aqua de Parma, Colonia Pura. Spray it often. All right, up next is none other than Roja Dove, Roja Parfums Burlington 1819. This is one that, again, I'm kind of afraid to speak on it because I feel like I'm going to do it a disservice or injustice by not capturing all of its magic, but that's really what this one is. This one is a magical masterpiece. This is, bar none, the most complex citrus fragrance that I've ever smelled, where it goes well beyond the sum of its notes, as I've previously stated. It progresses a ton. It's blended to perfection. It is super difficult to pick out individual notes in this composition, which makes it amazing, in my opinion. Just look at the packaging on this as well. Beautiful. So, God, I love this stuff. As a backstory to how I got this, every time I went into Neiman Marcus, I sprayed this guy like 5, 6, 7 times on me, and I just lived with it throughout sampling all the other stuff. Yeah, I wanted to smell everything else on a blotter card, but I wanted to wear Burlington 1819. The citrus, the cumin note that is so controversial, where depending on the person, it can come across a little sweaty, right? It can smell like taco seasoning. It can smell like sweat. It can smell like spice that adds to this composition, and that's what I detect. There's tobacco in here. That's just I can't even describe it fully, and I feel again I'm doing it a disjustice where I'm not capturing its essence, but you got to trust me on this one. This is one that you have to experience for yourself and just try. It is magical. It is a masterpiece. 10 out of 10. We'll never get rid of this bottle. We'll have it for life. We'll probably repurchase it if I run out of it. You can wear this, I think, casually, as long as you're dressed up a little bit more serious casual, as I call it. This isn't like graphic tee, shorts, and like, tennis shoes or something like that. That wouldn't really fit this, but if you're kind of going out and, I don't know, let's say like nicer shirt or like a nicer t-shirt, I don't know, some khakis or khaki shorts or something like a little bit more dressy but still casual, this would be perfect all the way on up to a suit. But I think that sweet spot is kind of more dressy, casual. I'll try and throw in a picture. I'm sure you guys know what I mean, but pure magic. Please try this one. It is expensive. It is definitely worth it, in my humble opinion. Next one. All right, so the next one that I have is none other than Clive Christian Town and Country. This one is a classical men's fragrance from centuries before that has been modernized and brought into the 21st century. So this one kind of gives a classical gentlemanly appeal where there's no mistaking this is a man's fragrance. This is not unisex in my opinion. And it's simple yet complex. It's simple where again, three note breakdown. I'm sure there's more in it, but you get that nice sage. You get sort of the amberiness that is popular in the modern fragrances where it just completely boosts the performance to insane levels where as far as longevity on my skin, this thing is probably over 12 hours. As far as performance, sillage, projection, detecting it in the air, this one is another strong performer where you don't need that many sprays, and you probably smell it as far as like initial projection and push. I would say comfortably, probably beyond that 3 hour mark. And as you're moving around, as you're heating up, it's definitely going to keep pushing as well. I would say for another few hours before it becomes a skin scent. This stuff is really, really nice to me. It was, so the story goes, it was Winston Churchill's signature scent from the Crown Perfume Company, I believe, whatever the predecessor to Clive Christian was. I'll throw it on the screen where they've taken that formula and they again have brought it into the 21st century here, and I think this is a masterpiece as well. You're able to wear this, I think, casually, even too, where graphic tees, shorts, whatever the hell you want to wear, you will still smell good in this, all the way up to a suit, all the way to a professional setting. I don't think that this is one that you would wear to a black tie event necessarily, because I think that you would want something a bit more special for that kind of occasion. But literally anything else, this stuff is great. You do pay you definitely get what you pay for here, and it isn't cheap. I was able to get this one for a great deal, in my opinion, and I'm very happy to have it in my collection. That's Clive Christian, Town and Country. All right, the next one that I have up here is another personal favorite of mine. This was Love at First Sniff. This is one that made me realize, along with Burlington 1819, which you see right here, that I needed to declutter, get my shit together, and buy stuff that I love, and I love this fragrance too. Amouage Royal Tobacco. This one is so different than anything else that I have in my collection. It is dry. It is spicy. It is herbaceous in a way. This stuff is a masterpiece. And oh my god, is this a freaking strong performer. Like, if you have some body heat going on here, and you have this on pulse points on your neck, on your wrists, everybody will smell you. And that's not to be taken lightly. This one is amazing, and I love when stuff performs well because you can cut down on sprays and kind of conserve juice, but you have to be mindful with this one. This one is a beast. Dry tobacco, herbs, spices. It's a serious Middle Eastern fragrance. Some people say that this smells kind of like a Christmas tree, and while I can see what they mean, I disagree. Like, I don't get that from it. I think this is much more than that. I think that this kind of fits the vibe for what you would wear at Christmas quite well. This is excelling in the cold weather. I think that you could wear this as a daytime fragrance. I don't think that this has to be exclusively nighttime, cold weather. I think that you can get away with it no matter where you live, and you will smell great wearing Royal Tobacco. All right, up next is none other than Nishane Ani, the Cecile Zarokian masterpiece, along with Royal Tobacco. I forgot to mention that. Both perfumed by Cecile Zarokian. She can do no wrong, in my opinion. Fantastic, fantastic perfumer. And this one, what can I say? I felt so in love with this one that I needed a 100 ml bottle in my life. Love upon first sniff. I got this one as a 10 milliliter decant on a decant swap earlier this year, and from the first moment that I sprayed that on, I knew that I was going to run through that decant, and I did in like the matter of a week. And I knew that I needed to own this. There was no ifs, ands, and buts about it. I needed this in my life, and I'm so glad to have it here. This is kind of a fresh vanilla where there's citrus in the opening and some other facets there, but it's kind of citrus meets creamy vanilla. Kind of like this ice creamy vanilla, too, where I believe it's ethyl vanillin. It's got to be that. I'm not Aaron Terrence Hughes. I'm not going to try and talk about what the exact aroma chemical is that is giving this smell. That's not me. But this stuff I know is damn good. The projection on it is moderate. It doesn't have the same push as some of these other ones that you see behind me. But that's okay because number one is the scent profile and how it makes you feel. And this one makes me feel amazing. This stuff is sexy. I think you could wear it again, probably for more dressed up casual to formal. I think that this does make a very good black tie event fragrance. I think that you will stand out, and I think that you will be noticed, and I think you will love living with Nishane Ani. Try it if you haven't. Take my word on this one. It's fantastic. So as I'm recording this, I noticed that I didn't intend for this to be this way, but all of the ones that I've had and featured so far behind me have been niche fragrances, so not something that you could get in Macy's, Dillard's, that sort of thing. Until I got to this one. This is Chanel Platinum Egoist. This one is a classic, and I mean classic because it came out 30 plus years ago at this point. Gentleman's Fougere that is so timeless in my opinion. As you can see by the dent on it, I've only had this, I think, 2 months. I think that I got this in October, and I have no regrets about it. I love this stuff. It is so easy to wear, literally any attire, any time of the year, any occasion, you can smell good wearing this. I will say that to some people, because of when this came out, that it can kind of come off as a mature man fragrance. And while I agree, I'm 27. I love wearing this stuff. I don't care if it makes me smell like an old man. I don't think that it does. I think this is classic men's perfumery, and it will never go out of style, and it will always smell good and have a place in any man's collection. This is Chanel Platinum Egoist. Classic, timeless, timeless, timeless. It's amazing. Try it if you haven't. I'm sure, even if you haven't noticed that you've tried this one or been deliberate about it, you have smelled this before. I guarantee it. All right, up next is none other than Rosendo Mateo number 5. This has grown to be one of my absolute favorites in my collection in the span of just 2 months or so. This is the original to Baby Cat. I know that it probably, if you're watching this video, you are familiar with Yves Saint Laurent Baby Cat. Sorry, that's kind of distracting, huh? Anyway, this is I think it came out in 2017, so I think 4 years before YSL Baby Cat. It is smoked incense, vanilla, and suede, and this very nice floral. And when I say floral, don't all you guys get scared and go, I don't want floral, don't want to smell like a girl. It doesn't, all right? It just adds to this presence where imagine suede. Imagine the smoky sort of vanilla, and imagine this carnation that kind of comes and it molds all of those, it merges all of those together into a composition that just has this very clean suede-like finish to it. Ooh, this stuff is a bargain. You can get this for like $110 at Max Aroma when it's in stock. That's where I got this bottle. This is an amazing deal. If you like Baby Cat or anything that smells like it, you owe it to yourself to try this one because, in my opinion, this is better than all of them, and it is so much more of a bargain. This one I've gotten multiple compliments wearing too. It has a beautiful presence about it. It says on the front here floral amber sensual musk, and I think that's accurate. Mocha, which one do you like? She likes it. Anyway, Rosendo Mateo number 5. Please, 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 please try this one. It is fantastic. And Neil, I'm going to send you a decant, I promise. All right, the last one. What do we think it is? Nope, not that. This is none other than Aaron Terrence Hughes' Daddy. This is my most complimented fragrance in my entire collection, which is awesome because I love how it smells, and that's why it's on this list. I don't give a fuck about compliments. It makes it nicer. You like having compliments. It makes you feel more settled than wearing a scent, but number one to me is me liking the scent, me wearing it and living in it. If I like how it smells, and obviously I do because it's on here, I'm gonna wear it. And this one, oh my gosh, this is probably the most designer like of all of the ones that I've featured here. But everyone kind of needs something like this. This is one where if we go out to bars and it's kind of casual, hanging out with friends, they come to town, we want to show them around. This is perfect for that. This is loud. This is attention grabbing. It smells so good. And apparently there's real oud in it. Did you know that? If you know anything about Aaron Terrence Hughes, it's always a funny thing to talk about whether the oud is real or not. I don't really care if it is or it isn't. This stuff is awesome. It smells great. I personally don't think that it smells like anything else. I've seen comparisons to Leighton, to Carlisle, to Jean Paul Gaultier Ultra Male. And while I can pick out little bits and pieces, I don't think that it in general smells like that. This is a nighttime sweet, but not overly sweet, kind of designer men's fragrance where the performance is amped up to 12. Projection, sillage, longevity, it's there. This thing is a screamer. But at the same time, it's not so juvenile where you would feel out of place wearing this from anywhere from your mid 20s up to however old you are. It isn't exclusively for high school little kids that are going out after the Friday night football games, right? Whatever. It has an edge that is kind of fun and playful, but yet it's grounded and it feels more mature too. So for my life and where I would wear it, this is perfect. And I'm kind of fighting back the urge to spray it right now. It's amazing. I know Aaron Terrence Hughes is very hard to sample. If you can, for some reason, get a sample of it without spending your hard-earned money on it, as far as getting just price gouged, I would encourage you to do that. But don't spend like $25 on a 2 milliliter decant. Like, don't buy those people's shit. It is not worth that. But if you could get a good deal for, I don't know, $15 for a few mil, please do that. I think it's worth experiencing, and you might come back to thank me later. So that is all of them. That's my 10 that I've added this year that I just absolutely love and can't live without. So let me know down below, what's your 10? What's your top couple? Let me know, have you tried any of these? Do you own them as well? And what are your thoughts? You disagree, you agree, you like, you don't like some of these? Let me know any and all of that down below. Excuse me. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video and into the new year, where I plan to grow this channel and just continue to share my passion of perfume. So thank you very much for watching. If you've watched all the way through this, you're a real one. I appreciate you, and I can't wait to talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.